Are we having fun tonight, pretties?
This is Witches, Brews, and Banter, where the forest speaks, the dead text back, and the magic is slightly feral. Join Dana Von Hex, Binx Vex, and Bethany Fenyx as we sip, spell, and spill the witchy truth.
To kick us off, I am Binx Vex. I am your one and only Louisiana Swamp Witch. I practice eclectic craft, so it's a little bit of everything. Kind of like Louisiana, just a gumbo. A little bit of everything.
I'm Dana Von Hex. I'm just here to make jokes and drink. That's all I do. I collect rocks. And that's about it. Yeah. I'm learning about all of this, so I'm here to learn and grow, and yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
Awesome. I am Bethany Fenyx. I am a folk magic practitioner, I guess, if I had to put a label on it. My magic mostly comes from the Appalachians, which is what you say when you're from there, not the Appalachians, so don't yell at me. Which I'm not actually from there, but my family is, so I was trained to say Appalachian. But mostly folk magic, nature magic, being out and about, energy, all that fun stuff. That's my vibes, that's my jam, and super excited to go through this journey with you all.
And tonight on Witches, Brews, and Banters, we'll be discussing intuition. Bitch, you guessed it. That is right. In fact, we're going to be going through intuition, what it means to us, how it's affected our life, and the fact that everybody has it and you can constantly get better at it. So without further ado, I do believe we're going to dive into a little tarot reading, and then we'll jump into the episode.
Okay, awesome. Let me find my page again. I am not off book yet, guys, and that is okay because that means I am still growing and still learning. So the card I drew for us tonight is the Three of Cups. So this is super exciting. I'm super excited about this because there is three of us. 3 is actually my lucky number, and I'm super excited about that. And the Three of Cups is even better because it is all about celebrations, coming together as friends, and gatherings, reunions, all that fun stuff. Which is exactly what we are doing today as 3 friends coming together. Love that rumble, Dana, coming from you, that thunder. It's great.
Yeah. So I don't know how to I think this microphone's gonna pick up everything.
It might, yeah.
And so I'm a little nervous because can y'all hear them downstairs?
Yeah.
Shit.
It's okay.
Right.
Honestly, it's okay. It's our first episode.
I mean,
I love the thunder, though.
I was going to say, the thunder's really just helping us out. Like, honestly, she's a paid actress.
My intuition has shown up in the form of a storm. It is, yeah.
It could be like
that's
that
really
sometimes,
funny.
though. But yeah, so the affirmation... Sorry, you can adjust your stuff as you feel necessary. But the sigil affirmation, so this tarot deck uses sigils as well, which is what, that is right there. So the affirmation for this sigil is I attract new friendships and nurture healthy relationships, which is great because I feel like that's really new beginnings. We're just starting this podcast. We're pretty much besties, which is awesome. And I think we all support each other really well. So I think that's a great card. And then also because we want to nurture our listeners too. We want to nurture their practice, their growth, and all that fun stuff, and hopefully make new friends with them too. So I just love that that's the card we drew out of this deck. So fantastic. All right, so intuition, guys, this can come in a lot of different ways. We have intuition, we have psychic abilities, we have spirit guide messages. All of this can come in a different format, and poor Dana is just like a war zone over there.
Can y'all still hear it?
Yeah.
Jesus, I turned on the push to talk. Jesus Christ, I'm in a war zone. It's like 80-mile-an-hour winds.
Oh my gosh. So the difference between the two, like intuition is the ability to understand something immediately without need for conscious reasoning. This is basically a gut feeling, a gut instinct. And in my opinion, it comes from you. So it doesn't come from an outside source. It doesn't come from ancestors. It doesn't come from spirit, universe, or anything like that. This is actually you, your magic, and you feeling a certain way and understanding those messages coming through. Being a psychic can come in many different ways. It's generally defined as someone who claims to have paranormal abilities or be sensitive to forces beyond natural laws of physics. But this is often coming through in all of the different clairs. All right, so we have clairvoyance is the clear sense of vision or psychic sight. So these are images that come through your brain. Clairgustance is taste. Clairsalience is the clear sense of smell. Clairaudience is hearing. And claircognizance is a clear sense of knowing or psychic insight. Clairsentience is a clear sense of feeling, being able to detect psychic information through your body. And clear empathy is a clear sense of emotional feeling. Clear tangency is a clear sense of touch. And that's all 8.
So it's like Claire Starling from Silence of the Lambs.
There you go.
Yeah.
Almost forgot the most important one.
That's right.
The most important Claire.
No, so a lot of people will say when it comes to the Claires, we'll just call them the Claire clique, right? A lot of people say that it's mostly the senses. So you'll have one specific to every sense. But if we're being totally honest, some of the more, I don't know, like sense, like nose, smelling things, touching things. Now, I've experienced touching things, but those type of psychics are harder to come by, in my experience. I live around New Orleans, so we deal with a lot over here, okay? We deal with a lot over here. But they're far less talked about, or I guess admired. Usually the ones that are the most admired are the why are the names always leaving me? The clairvoyance, the clairaudience, and the clairsentience. Those are the ones where usually the people you'll see them, or you'll be able to interact with them in some sort of way. It's, I think, just more of a profound experience. It's a lot easier to point out, I guess, than some of the other senses, because sometimes, I mean, we all get that, right? Like you smell maybe a dead relative's perfume or the scent they used to have. We get that all the time, but you think, oh, well, that's just them, that's just them letting me know they're still here. You don't think of it as a Claire, as one of the Claires. Mm-hmm. It's not as recognizable, I think. And easier to brush away, too.
Yeah, those are definitely the top 3. Those are what everyone thinks about, especially when they think of like psychic gifts. They think of like, oh, you're going to hear messages. You're going to just know things. You're going to see things. Like you're going to get images. But no one ever thinks about like, there's literally people that if you go to a antique store and pick up a little doodad, like you can get that whole item's life story, which is really cool if you can do that. Or taste too. Like you might get different tastes. Like maybe one day you have the taste of like tobacco or something, and maybe your grandpa was a big smoker or something like that. And that's like another way of another message coming through. And clears are all, it's like exercising a muscle. And this is actually with all witchcraft. So it is a practice. It's something that you have to keep going at. It's something that you have to keep working. Because just like with muscles, you have to keep working them out or you start losing that ability. So everyone has these options. But some people have, they're drawn to more, like one type of clair more than another. And I heard recently like a thing you can go through to try and figure out like what clair is yours. And it was really fun. And I wish I could remember the source, but I really don't. And I need to start writing this stuff down. But basically, and if you guys want to go through it too, basically, if you can, I know not everyone has this ability, but the process is to envision a tree in a field. And so you try and put that image in your brain. And then the next thing is try and create everything in that scene. Maybe you go up and pluck an orange. Do you actually feel that orange, or do you actually smell that orange first? And or do you go over and like run your fingers against the bark? Can you actually feel that bark, or do you actually smell maybe the grass around it? Maybe there's a storm coming and you can smell the rain coming through. So it's this mental practice that you can go through, and it's all about testing different senses against the tree in the field, and try and see like which one is strongest. Like if you go up to the tree, is it just that you see the light coming through the leaves and you see how the wind moves the tree leaves or something like that? Then maybe you're going to be which one is it? The sight, clairvoyance. Or do you hear the wind in the trees and maybe you hear the birds chirping and stuff? Is that sense more stronger? Then maybe you're more drawn to clairaudience. Do you actually taste the orange? Do you taste the warmth of the sun? Something like that. Then you're clairgustance, if I said that right, the one where you taste. So you can definitely go through that and sit with yourself and see there. That's your psychic abilities. But intuition is different. So intuition is more of a gut feeling. And for me, I know the difference between a psychic message, a spirit message, and my intuition, depending on where I get my tingle, which sounds kind of dirty. But like if I know it's a spirit guide, I feel like there's a warm hand on my back. Like someone's like touching the back in between my shoulders, like a kind, like, oh, like it's okay. Like that, I know it's a message from my spirit guides. If it's a gut feeling, like almost like butterflies or something like that, or a really random thought that I wouldn't think, like maybe I'm driving down the road and my map is saying, you need to turn right in 3 miles. And I'm like, I am not turning right. Like that sounds like the worst thing in the world. I cannot turn right. Then that's my gut telling me like, for whatever reason, I should not be going down that road. And then universe is more of like a tingle again on my back, but it's across the top of my shoulders and stuff like that. So it's more of like a kind of like when you feel like your leg or something is going to sleep, like that kind of tingle. So it's an actual like tingle. Then I need to pay attention because at that point it's coming from either like a god, a goddess, or like universe, whatever you want to call it, spirit, all those terms. So what does like the 3 different messages feel like for you guys?
So for me, well, I always think about intuition as instinctual. So for me, it's going to be anything that pushes me into fight or flight. It gives me that trigger of like, oh shit, I should not be here. I either need to fight for my life or I need to leave before I die. So instinct is kind of the same thing. It's usually a gut feeling for me. It's that weird, like your heart flutters, you get like randomly panicked, or you have that random thought of, oh, I shouldn't go there. I shouldn't meet this person, whatever it is, right? So it's a lot the same for me on that side. As far as psychic, that side is quite different for me, because I think I have a different set of skills than you do. So for me, whenever I am getting a message, usually what happens for me, what happens for me usually is it will be people passing away or people that have already passed away, and they need to give a message to a loved one or somebody they knew. Some people think of it as their unfinished business. Sometimes it's just they see their family member struggling and they want to be able to push them along and kind of help them out of that rut. So it's almost like I get pulled out of my body. I enter like a weird dream state. That's usually how I know when it's a spirit coming through to connect with a living being. It'll feel very, very, very vivid, but it'll feel like a dream. And I know I'm awake. The last time it happened, I was in a work meeting. So obviously I know I'm very coherent. I know I'm in the middle of doing things, but spirit has a message and spirit does not wait for anyone. So, they'll kind of, I don't really personally, know how to explain it, because I myself have not truly sat in it, because there's a lot of fear still around claiming these abilities because of where I'm from, because there's a lot of fraudsters around where I'm from. So if I'm not certain in it, I don't want to claim it, right? I don't want to run around saying, oh, I can do all these things. but I know what I've experienced also. So the best way for me to explain it is just, it feels like being pulled into a very, very vivid dream state, and somehow at the same time knowing I'm wide awake, actively doing things. And for me, as far as like a universal or spiritual connection, that one usually happens when I'm meditating. So it's usually me seeking help. Because when my ancestors or my spirit guides connect, it's a lot of the same kind of dreamlike situation. But sometimes it'll also just be whispers. Like, they'll just whisper something to me, or they'll show me a random, quick, fleeting vision, and that's kind of all she's wrote, you know? So it's all very different, and I think for me, I'm still very much exploring the physical sensation of it, because for a long time I did kind of, push it to the side. Living in haunted houses as a child is not for the weak.
I think we all do that from time to time, for sure. What does it feel like for you, Dana?
Yeah, so for me, it's weird. I have a bit of clear sentience and clairaudience are my two things. I don't really feel like I get straight up messages. I guess I get a lot of little hits. My ears do the left and right thing. So some people say that the right is positive messages and the left is you should start paying attention to kind of what's going on around you. That is something I do pay attention to. I mean, that when my ears kind of go off, I'm just like, what's happening? Like, it happens all the time. With clairsentience, I'm very much an energy person, an empath person. I can tell almost instantly if something's wrong with somebody, or I can enter a room and feel when the energy's not right. Like, God forbid, take me into a funeral home. Good Lord, I can't breathe. I got to stand by the door. I need oxygen. I get the same way. Like, anywhere big events have happened, like battlegrounds and things like that, where there's high emotion, or where high emotion has been in the past. Mm-hmm. And I also can just sense things. Like, for example, I just went to Charleston, South Carolina, and we went into a really old dungeon prison thing. And I immediately, without the guy even saying anything about there being a spirit there, I could just tell. It was a male. I could tell, like, that was drawn to this certain spot in the dungeon, like this little kind of cubby hole in the corner. And I'm just like, yeah, that's where you hang out. Like, I got you, bro. Like, I know that's where you are, like, and you're safe. And it was just like, that just naturally comes to me. I can definitely feel, I do get the random visions of things. I'll just be talking to someone and I'll get a picture of a dog or something, or, just something random. And I'm just like, does this ring any bells for you? Like, I don't know why this is coming in my head right now. So I have a lot of these little things, and I've always wanted to build them up and kind of learn to use them, I guess, in a way. But definitely my empath, thing is pretty big. It's pretty huge. I mean, it only takes a second for me to see someone and know something's up. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just almost immediately. And intuition wise, I can definitely get that feeling when things are not going to go well. Like, for example, when my friend passed away that morning, I woke up and I was just full of dread, and I couldn't breathe. And it was like 5 a.m, and I'm just like, oh my God, what is going to happen today? Good God, this is going to be just the worst day ever. And sure enough, it turned out to be a pretty bad day, kind of the worst day ever. So I get that, when it comes to me, I get the just all the little signs, but I haven't quite put them all together yet. But it's one of those things I'm learning to do and learning to feel. So, and learning to decipher. So yeah, that's pretty much how it goes for me.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up empathy, because that is totally another form of everything we're talking about. It is slightly different than like clair empathy, where like clair empathy is going to be a message that makes you feel those things, whereas empathy is just understanding what is the here and now. And you can be a pure, like a straight up empath, or you can just be empathic, where you pick up these feelings, pick up these emotions, stuff like that. But I mean, I would definitely say you're a full-on empath, Dana, for sure, with how you go through everything, how you hear things, how you feel things, how you can just like key in on someone and be like, no, like,
no.
It's for sure
something wrong with you.
Exactly. Like, no.
I wish it would work in my love life. That would be good.
Right.
Come on, guys, do me a solid, give me a nudge. Come on.
Well, the trick is actually listening to those messages
you
and
have a point
when you get them. Yeah. But
the
yeah,
universe
and then
keeps sending me messages. Yeah.
So many messages.
Lessons in the form of lessons.
Yes.
Constantly learning lessons. Yeah.
I was gonna say to your point about the dread on the day of your friend's passing. That is the one bad thing about being in tune with the other side. You always get the death notice before everybody else does, and it's like,
oh, 100%.
Then when you're in the midst of it, everybody's like, oh, like, why aren't you upset? Why aren't you crying? Why aren't you this? Why aren't you that? You're not, like, grieving appropriately. And it's like, I have had a longer time to process this than you, friend, and I
already knew this was coming. Yeah, definitely.
I got the knock
I knew
at
this
the
was
door.
going to be happening. I got the notice.
Yeah. That's funny.
But yeah, I've been that way since I was a kid, though. Like, I always knew, like, when something's going to go on with my grandparent or just anybody. It was like this just knowing feeling, wake up in the middle of the night like something is wrong. And then the next thing I know, my mom's waking me up telling me someone has passed away. And I'm just like, okay, I get it, So it's just, it's weird. It's weird.
I can definitely relate to that. I will never forget the first time I got a death notice, and you're a little kid, so you almost stop and think, and you're like, oh my god, did I do it? Like, because I was notified, was that me? Did I do it? And no, obviously you didn't, but
yeah. No, and that's hard for kids, especially kids that don't have support. Like, maybe you grew up in a really religious household or something where these types of gifts would be frowned upon, or you would be considered weird, or like parents are like, well, maybe she'll just grow out of it, something like that. And that's so sad, because so many kids then turn off their gifts because they're told, like, no, you're weird, or you're not supposed to know this, or there's so much guilt or shame around it, or it's not Christian, or whatever it is. And that's so sad for kids. And if you experience that as a listener, like, I'm sorry for that. But again, everyone has these abilities, and it just depends on how you feed into them, how you strengthen them, and how you use them. So again, it's that muscles, whatever, that muscle analogy, I guess. The more you use it, the stronger it's going to become, and the easier it is going to be to actually use it. So, of course, meditation is number one, everyone's least favorite thing to do ever. Meditation is really hard for me because I can't calm my mind. It just doesn't work. So guided meditations really help. Guided meditations help me a lot. But honestly, I'm really digging those like YouTube, music where they hit a certain frequency that's supposed to help with different things. That's actually really, really helps. We recently had one shared through work experience, and I was like, oh my god, I can actually focus. Like, this is insane. Like, my leg, like, I'm the annoying person who's constantly shaking my leg, much to Dana's chagrin whenever we're actually together.
We both shake.
Just like always shaking my leg because it gives my body something to do while I'm trying to make my brain work. But seriously, as soon as this music started playing, I don't even remember which frequency it is. Like, my body just like completely calmed, my legs stopped shaking, and my mind was able to calm and relax. So meditation is a huge one. Actually listening to those messages coming through and trusting them, that's the big one. If you're like, no, my phone, my technology is telling me to turn right, but something inside you is saying don't do it, don't turn right, and you still turn right because you're like, no, my phone is right. Like, no, your gut was right.
I do what I want.
Exactly.
Tell me what to do. You told me what to do universe.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah. Well, and that's actually, I'm glad you said that, because that's actually, what is it? It's a disorder. Defiance. Something disorder.
I clearly have it.
Yeah. Where basically, like, if someone tells you what to do, even if it's something you want to do, you're not going to do it because you're like, no, fuck you. You can't tell me what to do. I'm going to do what I'm going to do.
do what I want.
Exactly. Even if it's something you actually wanted to do, like the mental, like, it's like, no, you can't do it. Like, you just can't do it. So getting over that is difficult, but you have to trust yourself. You have to listen to your dreams. You have to listen to your gut. You have to listen to all that. Even if it's so crazy, if it's like taking you in the completely wrong direction. I keep bringing this up because I remember a story from a long time ago from someone who is like some author. I can't remember. I'm so great with sources, you guys. But I just remember this story where she's like, I'm driving down the road and for some reason I had a really strong pull to go this certain direction. And turns out she went down this road and she's like, okay, guys, where am I going? Like, I don't understand this. Like, talk to me. Like, tell me, like, to her guides, like, tell me about what the hell is going on, because I'm driving down this random ass road and I have no idea where I'm going or anything like that. And there's a toddler just like walking down the road. And she is like, okay, that's weird. I guess this is why I was supposed to go down here. She was supposed to help the toddler. The toddler got out of their house and the mom was like looking for her and was like terrified and everything, but the toddler was eventually found and brought back, and she was supposed to go find that toddler. So her guides drew her over to the toddler. It was like, you know, this is your gut, this is your instinct, listen to it, because maybe you're being called to step in and help in a situation, or maybe it's most common and what most people feel is fear or a dangerous situation, because that's the most basic, that's survival. But you can grow it to be actually used in the greater scheme of things and everything like that, so that you can actually like intervene and help, and maybe you're being called to meet a certain person or interfere in a certain situation. But for the most part, everyone's going to feel the survival aspect of intuition first. And then the more you develop it, the more you're going to actually get like, oh, hey, I'm actually supposed to go do this. And the more you trust your gut, the more you grow. That's where those gifts really come in and really accentuate your life. I'm not there yet. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm still at the fear-based, intuition, survival-based, like that kind of area. But hopefully in a few more years, it'll just be running off my gut.
I was a complete dumbass when I was younger, right? Like, I was your typical stupid-ass teenager. I thought I knew everything about the world. Every adult around me were just so dumb. They had their blinders on. They're stuck in these small towns. Blah, 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 blah. I cannot tell you how many awful, horrible situations I got myself into, all because my gut tried to tell me, and I said, oh no, I know better than my gut. I know better than my body literally trying to save my life right now. I know better than that. The built-in alarm system? Huh? You alarm your house, but you don't listen to your body's alarm system? That's crazy. Well, I learned quick. Fucking, yeah. No, as an adult, I listen every time. The intuition gets to yapping, and I'm like, ooh, girl, what's the tea? Tell me everything.
What's the spiritual universe tea?
Yes. More things we can do to strengthen your gifts, your intuition, your psychic kicks, all that fun stuff. Above meditation is going to be paying attention to details. Dream journaling. Dreams are a really big place to get messages. And just trusting your gut. The more you trust the messages, the more you actually listen to it, the powerful they're going to become, and the more you're going to understand them as well. So even if it seems crazy, even if you're wrong, like, that's totally okay. Be wrong, but at least you understand, like, oh, hey, that one was wrong, but maybe the next one I'm going to feel will actually be right. So just keep going at it, and keep pushing it. Meditation, just being with yourself. Like, so many people struggle with that. A lot of people have to have like those outside sources. Like, you always have to have a TV show playing. For me, it's always Gilmore Girls. Like, I always have to have that playing. Or you always have to have music. Like, you can't just be in silence because your brain starts. And that's like the most terrifying thing ever, is being with yourself and being with your brain. But the more you get to know yourself, the more you get to know your brain, the more those messages are going to come through. And pretty soon you'll be a really powerful badass, and you'll be able to pick up like what is a gut feeling, what's a spiritual hit, and what is like a clair for you. So that's always really fun.
Find your clair at the local clair store.
Get your ears
get the Claire mark. At Claire. Claire's. I get it. I get the reference. Yeah.
No, I think the biggest piece of advice that I could give someone who's like trying to figure out how to strengthen their intuition is get really comfortable with being wrong. Like Bethany was saying, get really, really comfortable with being wrong. Get really comfortable with thinking you're crazy. I like to say that I live in my little delusional fantasy land where the sky people talk to me, and there's fairies and gnomes and all these things, right? Like, fuck it. It doesn't matter if the rest of the world looks at you like you're insane. It really doesn't, because only you get to live this little life experience. And if you're going to trust so many other people outside of yourself in this world, what's so wrong about trusting yourself? Really and truly. What is so wrong about trusting yourself? You're probably the only person that's going to have your back in the way that you will have your back. Yes, people will love you. They will come in. They will support you. Hopefully, you will find your community and you'll be in a space full of love and support. But you have to know yourself to be able to keep yourself out of danger and to be able to find those people. It's one of the most essential things you'll learn in your life. And it definitely, just learning to love yourself, just learning who you are as a person and what makes you tick, that in and of itself will inevitably strengthen your intuition and your psychic abilities, because you're learning yourself, you're figuring yourself out. And that's one of the most wonderful things about being on this little rock we call Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bitch, you're crazy.
Yeah, lock me up then. Lock me up. Where's the straight jacket? Bring it on.
Let's go with it. That's pretty good.
Sticky sock vacation.
Sticky
They've tried before. Am I there now?
Yeah.
You don't get no shoelaces. Those are for privileged clients.
But yeah, no, that's super fun. This is the human experience, guys. Let's go out and live it and enjoy it and love it. That's what we're here for. We all signed up for something. So, but those everything sticks around. Like, we have those gifts, we have that power, and that's why I love witchcraft, because you get to own who you are at the core, and no one can tell you otherwise, which is great. So, fuck you, patriarchy, right? 2 middle fingers up. Let's own ourselves and own our power. Yeah, words. Yeah. But yeah, any closing thoughts, Dana?
I think for me, it's just magic is real, like it always has been for me. I agree with Binx there, that there's always been that knowing of there's something more, like the universe, we're all tied together with little strings, right? We're all connected. And that's why it's so important to be kind to one another, and to have love for one another, and treat each other well, because we are all connected and we are only on this little rock for so long. And so that's just a super important part for me. I guess going back to my, my little empath heart, it's just important, but yeah, I guess, for me, like I said, to me, magic's real. I believe in all the little things, and I've seen too much and felt too much to not have some sort of belief in it. So,
exactly.
But yeah, definitely find yourself, find your place. Somebody told me once that, if you just stop and think about where your feet are, and bring yourself back into your body, because how often do you think about what your feet are doing?